Shield for others, armor for myself. Let's get started. For the light bearer.
May the lucent tree bestow its blessings upon all. A new bloom is emerging.
I am Entendre, an exile. Keep training to keep growing.
Who's there? Be ever sharper. My weapon and myself.
I am Entendre, an exile.
The General has asked me to protect you. Not that you need it.
You desire an audience. And what do you offer? Being a noble is always being on top.
Hey, you all right? Be more careful.
I come to protect.
Unbreakable!
Well, victory is deserved.
I come to protect.
Well, victory is deserved.
The General has asked me to protect you. Not that you need it.
I am Entendre, an exile. I am Entendre, an exile.
May the lucent tree bestow its blessings upon all.
Oh, good morning.
Here we go, everyone!
The Gruglins are even more erratic than usual. Could these grapes be the reason? What kind of grapes can send these creatures into such a frenzy?
It's so cold!
I'm convinced the change in weather caused the Southville grape yields to plummet. So Lord Franz wanted to seize land.
I've tried those grapes, and they're really not very good. Who would buy them?
From my understanding, most of these grapes are purchased by the Adamant Syndicate.
Adamant Syndicate. Yes. I heard about them in the capital. A merchant guild that grew quite powerful.
Yes, the Adamant Syndicate is a famous merchant guild in Asperia. They've been looking. In the past, the Mithril Consortium hardly took notice of them. But now, they're almost... It pains me to say it, but I must admit that they are extremely talented when it comes... I, however, have no interest in these grapes, as only the nobility can afford them. I only care about the wheat production in Northville. When the wheat is ground into flour and baked into bread, Its deliciousness has the potential to reach every single home in Hesperia. But with the weather growing colder by the day, there's no telling what will become of rye ham. It's possible that this year's harvest, however poor, was the
No way! We're gonna put a stop to this crazy weather and bring the warmth back to Ryham.
That's right! And we'll start by finding the real culprit. Chippy won't forgive anyone who burns down the fields that Magister Merlin worked so hard to—
You two are awfully spirited today. We heard what the furballs had to say. What do you think? Though I suppose anyone would be upset after seeing the destruction of something they once protected. Relax. Forget I said anything.
Can you youngsters be a little more low-key? I remember your faces. You were there when we were putting out the fires. You're back here to investigate what happened, right? I may be old and forgetful, but I assure you that the people you're describing don't live in Northville. Come to think of it, I think Hank saw some outsiders around in the wheat fields that evening, but I'm not sure if those are the people you're looking for. Hank is the only fisherman around these parts. He's got no interest in farming, so he spends his days fishing. If you want to talk to him, keep heading north, and you'll find him up at the lake. Poor Hank's been really worried lately, ever since this cold weather froze the lake over. I don't know the details. You'll have to ask Hank.
Magister, you absolutely have to try this. I've never had taste. The taste?
Take as much as you'd like. My name is Truman, and I'm the chief of Ryham.
We're very grateful for the bread, Chief Truman. If you don't mind, could you share the exact formula with me? I need the flour-to-water ratio.
You're getting ahead of yourself, young lady. This bread doesn't need a special recipe. Many years ago, the legendary mage Merlin saved Ryham from the clutches of hypofiends. A powerful spell was cast, and the weather—
But I don't sense any trace of magic in the bread at all.
Ha 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 ha! That's because there are none in there. All Magister Merlin did, these loaves of bread, are the results of the hard work of our father.
But those things wouldn't affect the taste.
I understand this. Where I come from, nature responds to the hearts of the people. The breeze we hear when we greet and embrace our loved ones is different from the breeze we—
I don't understand what you're saying, young man. But I still remember the words Merlin— He loved the sight of the autumn wind blowing through the waves of grain. He hoped it would never fade.
That's my role model.
Words of poetry to my ears.
Really?
Before Lord Franz did away with Southville's wheat fields, this golden land was even... A pity Lord Franz replaced Southville's wheat crop with grapes.
Now that you mention...
Oh, come on. Don't forget what we came here for. We have to keep searching for who's behind the fire at Northville. Let's go.
Please let me join the investigation. These loaves of bread are the embodiment of Magister... I won't forgive anyone who tries to destroy that.
Why do people keep looking for me? Why would I be nervous? After all, you're not the first group of people that came looking for me. Fire. I have no idea what you're talking. Since I've already been paid, don't expect me to say anything. I probably shouldn't have. I'll split a portion of my take if you promise not to tell Lord Franz. Instead of pestering me here, why don't you go look around where the fire happened? If you find something, Lord Franz might even reward you.
What happened? Who's that? You were talking to him for a long time.
A fisherman. He knows something.
Oh no. At this rate, the evidence may be covered in snow before we find it. Weren't you investigating the strange weather in Ryham? Any progress? Do you think he knew you were investigating? And if so, someone else may have discovered you along with the fire. It's possible that the falling snow was also part of their plan.
What are you whispering about?
Hey, keep those bunny ears out of our conversation. We don't have much time.
Oh, I almost forgot. You see, before you all arrived, I conducted an experiment here, and the results were completely In my experiment, that Merlin's ward is gradually weakening.
Weakening?
Yes. Not only that, I discovered that another maid attempted to restore the ward, but could not stop it from weakening.
No! How could this be?
Sir Chippy! As a member of the Lyceum, I would never report something unless I was sure. The magic felt brazen and hot, but determined. Whoever was trying to repair the ward was too forceful. It clashed with Merlin's magic. As a result, it showed very little effect.
Brazen hot magic. I wonder...
I was thinking the same thing. I'm no mind reader. Some things can be reasoned out. Also, after spending this much time together, I can guess what you're thinking.
Tell us, Phelan. Who do you think tried to restore Merlin's ward?
Muriel, the Scarlet Sorceress. After being accused of starting the fire, she refused to explain why she was there. If she was trying to repair the ward, she probably didn't want everyone to know that it was weakening.
I have no idea what any of you are talking about.
Chippy doesn't know strange weather, the fire, the grapes, and now some... Oh no! Chippy's brain hurts. Chippy can't figure this out.
Right now, we're still missing that last piece of evidence. I have a feeling that everything will fall into place once we find the real culprit behind the fire.
Then what are we still waiting for? Let's hurry over to the scene of the fire and...
You're not even worth getting up for.
These results were satisfactory.
Lord Franz is in cahoots with bandits and standing in our way to the truth.
It looks like our hard work is starting to pay off. We're all thinking the same thing, right? This fire had nothing to do with magic or with any mage. Although fire elementals did appear, it was after the fire started. The fire may have attracted them. Someone else sparked the fire before they showed up. The real culprits were those people we saw in Southville before, Lord Franz's henchmen. Disguised as locals, they infiltrated the village and set fire to the wheat.
The villagers already had a poor harvest due to the cold weather. If Lord Franz burned that wheat, then what are the villagers supposed to sell? That's their only source of income. I can't believe he would resort to such underhanded means just to force Northville to plant his grapes.
I'm sure Lord Franz wouldn't just let us question him either. Hey, Lord Franz, what are you plotting? What nonsense are you spewing, insolent wretch? Guards, seize them! Yeah, if we want to avoid that, we'll need to approach things from a different angle.
I've made a preliminary analysis regarding this. If everyone will listen. The magic that surrounds Northville is as clear and pure as spring water. While the magic in Southville, on the other hand, is as thick and muddy as us. The biggest difference between the two is their crops. I suspect that those grapes are responsible for polluting the To test my hypothesis, I'd like to return to Southville to gather some sand.
How are you going to do that when Lord Franz is guarding those grapes so closely? Unless... Miss Cassidy, don't tell me you plan on...
It's not stealing if it's for research purposes. Besides, I'm only doing this to get closer to the truth. I only need a single tiny grape. No one will ever know it's missing. Then I'll take my leave. May Dura protect you.
Sorry to interrupt, everyone, but I must be going. Muriel is still being held captive by General Hogan. I need to return to Hollystone and clear her of any wrongdoing. But more importantly, I need to apologize to her in person. Lord Franz was the real culprit all along, and I am partly to blame for all of the suffering she has endured.
General Hogan will want to know more about what's happening here. I need to make a trip back to Hollystone as well. Lord Franz will never admit to starting the fire. He holds a lot of power around here. Getting him to confess is something that needs to be discussed with the General. Thanks for the hard work. I'll treat you to whatever you want back in Hollystone. And don't worry, it'll be on the General's dime.